GM.
GM.
Jam. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
Thank
Yeah.
you, bro. Can anyone hear Santi?
Bro. I was going to reply. I'll hold my comments.
Almost got you.
Can anyone hear Santi?
Your
I can't have a smile when the camera's on, bro. I can't have the smile.
Look at
bro.
that smile. It's like the sunrise in the horizon, man.
Bro, I'm just a chill guy, man.
Illuminates my day.
I'm
just
just a chill guy, bro.
trying to host a brew.
Oh man, we need to turn on the cameras, right? Shush.
Jose,
with that attitude.
let me see your pretty face, bro.
Bro, hold on. I'm all messed up.
You look good.
Oh man.
That's me, Stick. How'd you get a picture of me, bro? Look at that guy.
Everyone in the chat. That's a chill guy.
That's a chill guy, bro. That's a chill guy.
I missed out on the meme coin.
Jose, let me see you flex, bro.
No, bro, please don't, bro. Sanchi is not going to be happy.
I'll be super happy, Jose, to see how things are progressing.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, welcome, guys, everyone, to the Atlas Brew number 137. We'll have the DAO Council. I don't think it's the full council, but some of the council members joining us today to speak about what is going on and the updates from the DAO. So I think we have Funkcracker, and Ronald at the same person. Funkcracker, Brian, and
Surprise of the year, bro.
So welcome, guys, to the stage. How are you guys doing?
Doing well, man.
Good.
Doing awesome.
Well.
Thanks for the invite.
It was snowing yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw my Twitter post, but it was pretty cool.
I love the snow, man. I love the snow. Hi, Ahota.
But yeah, Ahota, GM, Funkcracker and Ronald, GM.
Yeah, GM.
But yeah, I think we can get started here with some noteworthy news. I think everyone is aware of this one, but we posted the beta testing form, so people can apply. We just closed the applications, so people will know shortly if they have been chosen for beta testing or not. So some of them we already reached out, but some others will be reaching out later today. So looking forward to that. I think it's super important to have community testers on, and last time everybody crushed it. So looking forward to see what the new group provides, what they add to the table. So yeah.
Yeah, the last test was incredible. Oh my gosh. Everyone did their part. It was an amazing work from everyone, and they really helped us get ready for Impact Summit for our tournament. So shout out to them. A lot of them are just really hardworking individuals who put in a lot of work for the testing. So they know who they are. If you know, you know. Congrats, guys. Thank you for all your hard work.
Any alpha for us?
Cool stuff.
No alpha.
Any alpha?
Just the alpha that they are going to test cool stuff.
The alpha, yeah, bro. Good alpha, bro.
I do my best.
People are here. They want some good news.
And Solace, when we choose people for this, it's not about guilds, it's not about content creators, it's not about being an OG, it's not about being a whale. It's literally the people who, with the gameplay experience, who are gamers, who we think are going to give the best amount of feedback to our team. So we don't look at any of those parameters at all.
I didn't apply because I
knew.
I was like,
Brian, you wouldn't be accepted, bro.
Exactly. It's like, I want to see this cool shit, but I know I'm not going to be able to give 5-10 hours a week. I got too much shit going on, so it's like, you know what? I'll let someone else do it.
The council is probably enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
bro.
Exactly. Unfortunately, but exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I fucking show up to the game, all the like, Brian, where the meeting notes? I'm like, sorry, I'm playtesting.
I've been playtesting this whole time.
Is Buddy in there? Because that's another hardcore one.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know.
playing Sage right now. He can join.
He's crafting golden tickets. That's what he's up to.
Exactly.
He had a big week last week for sure.
It's
Uh,
gonna have another big week.
yeah. But yeah, on that, if you were chosen, you will receive a DM today. But also make sure that it's the official one of our official accounts. That's very important. Verify, triple check. We usually don't DM first, just in this case. So yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
we're not gonna
have-
send you any wallets to download or any website to
Yeah.
connect to. Never,
You can send
ever,
a link
ever.
to verify their wallets, right?
Yeah, we have, yeah. We just need their seed phrase, and then
Try your
you can
seed phrase,
join
folks.
the.
Yeah. On another thing, we are also planning to host an event, probably second week of December, maybe. I don't want to give an exact date, but we are looking to host an event to update everyone on what's going on behind the scenes on the different product pipelines. We think that we have received very clear feedback, I think, and opinions from the community saying that they need more information on, or they need to know what is going on and just some updates overall, more communication. So that's something that we're looking forward to do, and we'll probably do in December. So
Get ready.
hopefully that makes people happy and at least gives people updates on what's going on. Clarity. So
Going to be
Not a
fun.
town hall. Keep the expectations in line, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, don't expect product releases during the event, anything. It's updates on product pipelines. That's all it is. Direct communication. No expectation should be there. It's a
Will Michael
quarterly
be there?
update.
Why are you smiling, Santi, bro? Are you trying to keep
No,
yourself
no,
steady?
no. I'm very steady. No, I just don't want
Is Michael
the,
there, or
where?
will he be there at the not
Yeah.
town hall?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Okay,
it
cool.
true? Is it true you're giving some crew away that day?
Maybe. No town hall. I like that definition. It's a
I
town
like that a
hall
lot.
without the expectations of a town hall.
Yeah, I like that. I like
It's such an old school town hall, right? Like back in the day. It's fine.
Yeah.
old school. It's like old school RuneScape, the regular RuneScape.
Yeah. No expectations, no town hall. Exactly. There's Michael in the chat.
Jesus, this is so perfect.
There's too many of those now.
It's insane. Now, I don't know if it happens to you as well, guys, but to me, whenever I see a GIF, I first see it with Michael's face, and then I'm like, does this actually have his face on or not? Everything in this server at this point, every single GIF has the Michael Wagner
everywhere,
face
bro.
in there. It's insane. So yeah, moving on from that, Jose, you commented on this a little bit, but what is going on in the marketplace? We have seen a little spike in volume the past 2 days.
Bro, someone started shopping. I mean, the guy spent over $100,000 in crew.
Jeez.
He bought pretty much every ship in game, even a 3 arrow. Wild at it. Someone is excited.
Wow.
I like it. I like
A
it.
new wallet or an old wallet?
I confess I didn't go too deep.
Okay. It sounded
You
Uh,
good.
probably know, Ronald. You probably know.
It's Ronald, bro. It's Ronald,
He's
bro.
playing
He's playing
dumb.
us.
It's an Avian.
It's an avian.
Sounds like someone that bought Sol at $10.
Yeah.
Rotating.
Yeah. I saw like $22,000 worth of crew packs being bought at one point. I saw like a $49,000 order. I don't know what's going on. Some crazy shit though. Crazy.
Yeah, it's super interesting, and I mean, we are nearing a couple releases, right? We have RFRs, local marketplaces. So yeah, interesting to see people getting
Good time to
excited.
have crew. Good time to have crew. Good time to have ships. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, local
stuff.
markets is going to be huge. I can't even explain how excited I am for local markets and see how this age economy develops and adapts to local markets. I'm sure that people in guilds are already
Ban it,
planning
Brian.
their strategies. Don't use that GIF in the chat. Oh my god.
You are a council member. Behave, man.
Those Michael Wagner gifts. But yeah, super excited about the local markets as well and RFRs, the local RFRs. That's going to get ships moving, let's say, all across the map. So
Makes sense. Yeah.
yeah.
Next week,
And
huh? You said launch date.
no. Didn't
No.
didn't say
Oh.
anything on
Okay.
that.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
But soon. We're not that far away. Then one thing that we wanted to share is that in case there's anyone in the Philippines, tomorrow we have the first ever Star Atlas Philippines meetup. So if you are there, Manila, if you are going to the YGG event, make sure to go to the meetup. We ordered a bunch of food, insanely cheap. I'm feeling FOMO from not being in the Philippines because it's crazy. Everything looks so good. So make sure to join. I think from our team, Miguel and Michael will be there. So you can meet Michael Wagner um, in there and have some drinks and food. So if you're in the Philippines, I would definitely think of going.
Yes.
And then one last thing is the Pierce F4. Dominic Bain, we posted some leaks, some sneak peeks of the
Yes.
Pierce F4.
Yeah, so the Pierce F4 interior, we showed the Pierce F4, the exterior being complete and the interior having a lot of work done for the first time at the Impact Summit. And Gary, which is our vehicle art director, and the rest of the team recently just completed the interior. Some people had feedback on the YouTube video, some people had feedback on Twitter, and it was really cool because Gary took in a lot of that feedback and implemented it. But if you want to go check out a sneak peek of the Pierce F4, the interior of it, go check it out. I just posted a link in the Atlas Amphitheater channel. You can see a lot of the interior. We included a lot of images there. So Pierce F4 is one of my favorite ships. I guess I'm biased, so but I'm interested in your guys' thoughts. Do you guys like the Pierce F4? Do you guys like the interior? Where does the Pierce F4 rank in your list? Is what I guess is what I'm asking. Not all at once.
It's not in my top, I would say.
No. Same.
It's
Wow,
I
no,
have
it's
to be
in no one's
straightforward.
top
I
right
need to have my opinions here. I like it. It's a cool ship,
now.
but
Tired.
it is not what I'm looking for in the
Okay.
my
X6
strategy.
I
over the
mean,
F4.
I think I was excited for it, but we've seen it like for the last 6 months now,
Mm-hmm.
at least, right? So I'm like, yeah, okay.
Well, they've been working
Great.
on it. It takes a
I
long
know.
time to work on a ship.
Exactly, but I'm like, wait, didn't we just see this? It's because it's been like because there's a gap between the different videos, right? You're like, wait, what's new, what's not? I mean, I need to get like side by side and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's just gotta have my ideas, you know.
It's one of my favorite ships. My favorite ship is still the Compact Hero. It'll always have my heart. It'll
Yeah,
always have
that's
my
for
heart.
sure higher. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love that shit.
yeah, that one. Yeah,
Top
no,
three.
no. I don't think anything is ever dethroning that one. Maybe when the Opal Shark comes out, there's like a neck and neck race, but until then, it's the Impact here.
no shark.
Anyway, sorry for the side tangent. Go check out the Sneak Peeks channel if you haven't already. Lots of cool stuff.
What about the Maidenheart? I thought that was your favorite ship, Dom.
Dude, Maidenheart would be my favorite ship if I could afford the Maidenheart. Until then, it's
Dude.
just it's my it's like me wanting a Lamborghini in real life. Do I like that car? Absolutely. Would I drive that car? Absolutely. Will I ever get that car? Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah. Capital ships are not for everyone. I understand you, Dominic thing.
Didn't you just get one, bro? Didn't you just get one, bro? Bro gets one D9. Bro gets one D9 out of luck, bro.
The cosmic currents, bro.
It
They
just takes
bless
one
us.
golden ticket. True.
Yeah.
As evidence
It
of
takes one golden
Jose.
ticket and a lot of
True.
blessing from the cosmic currents.
The Cosmic Currents
Absolutely.
really have to be on your side, bro. They really have to be on your side.
Gotta
Yeah.
Did you enter any tickets last week, Dom, during the Busan?
I did. Yeah. I'm doing 100 a week right now.
Yeah, nice.
I should probably do something. I should probably do more for the Busan week.
Wait, when is the Busan week?
That was the last
Each
week.
one.
Yeah, last week.
So it's too late now.
Well, there's gonna be more. It
Ah, two more.
reoccurs. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's either 2 or 3.
Uh,
It's either
more.
2 or 3.
But yeah.
All right, Dom.
But this
I'm gonna
week-
hold on,
Thimble.
Dom.
Tank
On
ship.
next-
Tank ship. Sorry.
On the
what?
next Busan week, I'm gonna match your tickets.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
Wow.
Okay, I'm down.
But I'm
Okay.
gonna give them to you. So if you put 500,
No. Don't
No.
give me. Don't give me.
Just
any golden
announce
tickets,
right
it's fine.
now. Yep.
No,
Yep.
no.
It's said. It's recorded.
Testify.
Wait,
Okay, all
is
right.
Dominic being getting bribed for alpha?
I'm getting sponsored right now. I'm getting sponsored in my Maidenheart acquisition.
You just gotta shout out Titan Analytics. What time?
Shout out to Titan Analytics.
No way! No way!
Come on, Brian. I
Oh,
take it a lot
man.
slower for you, and you are not giving me any bribes. Shame on you.
But your luck is so good. The
It's all
Iris
rigged,
loves you.
man.
Just say, don't be greedy,
Rigged.
man.
It's
You're
rigged,
all
bro.
set.
By the way, I'm going to get that tank ship right there, bro.
My
No,
tank ship,
you
no
aren't,
way.
bro. No, you aren't, bro. Dude, if you win the
I'm
tank ship,
telling
it's actually rigged. It's actually rigged, and I know you have some kind of internal communication pipeline to someone you shouldn't have it to. No way, bro. No
You just
way.
wait, bro.
I'll run it to
You
you,
just
just
wait,
when I
bro.
got it.
Are you guys going big this week for the Fimble week?
I am.
Nah, not big.
I don't know if big, but I will try to get my tank ship. I already have the insurance. I have the registration, the space in the parking. everything.
The licenses, everything's ready.
Big parking place, for sure.
I
What's
feel
up,
like the tank
Brujo?
ship represents a lot of us because it's like it's scrappy. We're all fucking scrappy here, right? Coming up from where we started. That's the tank ship. I love that ship.
I have to say that the tank ship. First, I was like, I don't know, but now it's ranking in my top ships.
It has grown
Now
on
it-
you, huh?
Really?
Yes.
Really? It's in your top
One
ships,
of the-
really? Wow.
It's one
Okay.
of the coolest ships that we have is the
It's-
tank ship, bro.
I love the concept that it looks like an actual ship, and dude, like it's just a perfect combination. Fimble as a whole is in my top, but
Yeah.
that one, the tank ship, I think it's in my top 5 for sure, for sure.
And it's a beast.
I do like the lore behind Fimble, taking old technology and making it modern in this
Yeah.
sci-fi world, in this futuristic world. That's super cool to me. Like, imagine like just finding old scraps of things like from a car from our day and age, like in the 2000s, you know, and then building some spaceship with it. It's a really cool. That's really cool. You're right.
Fimble
I
is
agree
the
with you, bro.
People's ships. you know?
True. Yeah, true.
But yeah. Also, before we move on here, I want to give a shout out to the Metaverse Nomads. They're taking a break, so we wish them a great break. Absolute legends, every single one of them, super consistent. They have been putting Star Atlas content out every Sunday without missing a single one for like 3 years. So they very much deserve a little break, and just want to give them some love. To all the Metaverse Nomads, thank you for all the content that you've been producing throughout these years, and the Star Atlas community and the team loves you guys. So W's in the chat for the
Absolutely.
Metaverse Nomads.
Yeah, W's in the
chat.
freaking chat for the Metaverse Nomads. It's gonna feel so weird. I every Sunday I would wake up. I would usually be late to the Metaverse Nomads because I sleep in way too late on Sundays. But I would watch the VOD every single Sunday, and it became my ritual. And they've been here doing this weekly show since the start of the bear market, and they finished the bear market, and then they took a break, kind of riding into the sunset after being kind of like Thanos after the job was done. You know, like seriously, I a big shout out to the Metaverse Nomads. I have so much love for everyone on that show. Everyone at Star Atlas does the work you guys did over the bear market, the work you guys did on a weekly cadence for hours. I'm sure even planning was in that as well. Nothing to scoff at. That like legendary in the Star Atlas history. I'm not. You were a huge part of us making it out of that brutal bear market. So
Big
seriously,
results,
big
yeah.
shout out. Big shout out. Love you guys. Enjoy your break. Hope to see you back soon.
Yeah. To give from Ray.
I was
Love you,
thinking
Ray.
about how long 3 years was. It's like 3 years every week. I don't even think I've held a job longer than 3 years.
Come on.
It's kind of wild. Like, it's a long time.
That's
True.
hilarious.
True. But yeah, I think with that we covered everything on the news, and we can move to the main topic. As you guys know, we have the DAO Council, and these guys have been working hard behind the scenes. And I'm sure that a lot of people here, especially the police holders, are looking for news from their end. So they requested coming to this brew. Of course, we always have time for our beloved council. And I know, again, they've been working a lot, so it's a great moment for them to share some updates. But I think, guys, it would be cool to start with like some context on like behind the scenes, like how things are going, how you're working together. Like, give us a little sneak peek on what is going on behind the scenes for you guys.
Sure, absolutely. So I'll give a brief overview and then we'll dive into some more in depth on the topics. So we've been meeting, all five of us, every week for the last, I think we're gonna have our sixth meeting today after the brew. And all five of us are pretty much at every call. We discuss the topics, we find alignment between all five of us, and if there's anything we disagree with, we chat it out. And so far, the vibe has been really great. We're all working together, and people are picking up tasks where they have strengths, and it's kind of like divide and conquer. But then we're also always collaborating and finding alignment, which is really nice. So I would say that the first kind of big topic that we've had to tackle is the debt, because the DAO is brand new. We don't have a lot of things, so we needed to figure out how we get the DAO email, how we get a DAO X page, a Medium page, how we pay for it, and a lot of that has to go through the foundation, which is Glenn is the head of the foundation. So going through Glenn and Dan to get all these set up, and that actually is a lot of work, because if you don't have an email, then you can't set up an X, right? If you don't have a phone number, you can't set up certain things. There's all these little building blocks that we have to set up first, which take time. And then there's the whole content piece, like, well, what do we name it? For example, on one of the discussions on the Twitter account was whether it would be a DAO Twitter or a council Twitter. And these things aren't super easily answered. We probably discuss for like 20 minutes multiple times what we want to do. Is the DAO, should the DAO have a voice specifically? Like, does the US government have a Twitter account? I don't think it does. It might be like the office of the president. So we kind of look at different places to see how they're structured to determine how we're structuring our accounts. So a lot of that. Then the second big piece that we've been working on, that Funcracker's put a ginormous amount of work into, is there's been a lot of DAO documents been published over the last couple years in various Medium articles or posts, or even talks with Dan and Swagner, and all that has been brought together in one place in the knowledge base. So that's a Git book which has everything, basically one place. So that's where all the historical documentation is going, and then that's where it's going to be where we're going to put all of our new information. So going out to you. So if you're ever curious about where things are headed, where they've been, go straight to the Git book. You're not going to have to search through Discord to find things. That has been a pretty monumental task, and that's kind of a prerequisite for the DAO template or the rubric that we're going to talk about as well, because there was some prerequisite information that we had talked about before that we could, use to set up our templates. So the next big push, of course, is the templates for pips. Like, what do you guys need to put in your pips for it to come to us? So that's been a really huge push. I think it was meeting 4, meeting 5 that we had a 3-hour meeting, and I want to point out that our meetings are at least 2 to 3 hours every week. So it's
That's
been a lot
insane.
of, yeah, it is insane. And that's just our face-to-face meeting. That's not including all of the chats that we're having in channel and in our forums, and just constantly talking about pieces.
So we can say that you and Bodhi are best friends now, meeting every Wednesday for 3 hours to chat about Star Atlas.
You could say that, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, Santi, because one of the things I was talking with some of my friends the other day is that once we were in the DAO and we were in the council and we stayed to talk, I never saw faction or guild or anything else. It was 5 people that are very passionate about the game, all going in the same direction to try to leave something, to leave something useful for everyone. So it's been really, really nice and really easygoing working together so far.
Exactly. I participated in some when I was needed, of course, and that's what I could see. Like, I know that there were a lot of question marks, let's say, from people, like when Brian and Bodhi were elected, and in general, not just that thing, but in general, like, will there be differences? Like, is there going to be a lot of politics plays in there and just not moving forward, and people disagreeing just for the sake of disagreeing because they don't like each other? But I haven't seen any of that, and in fact, what I see is a group of people that really care about Star Atlas and care about moving the DAO forward. So I'm super proud.
I see a question why Bodhi is not here, but Bodhi actually wanted to be here, but I think he may have overslept. It's super early in the morning for him. So just guessing, but yeah, he's around.
Yeah, Bodhi's on Hawaii time, so if you can imagine, that is probably 12 hours from now.
Yeah.
It's
It's early
so
morning. Early morning.
one of the challenges we had the first week, I think I'd mentioned it before, was just getting us all together. I mean, it took us like 5 hours to figure it out. That is mostly because of the time schedule. But we've also cleared that up. So now we're meeting every Wednesday between 7 and 9 p.m. UK time, sometimes longer if it runs over. And I believe that might be 1800 GMT. So that has been resolved. But yeah, it's definitely very early in the morning in Hawaii. So I'm sure he'll be
That's a
here.
challenge. That's a challenge.
Yes.
Like, and just for
Yes.
context, like, for everyone in here, like, these guys are not getting paid. They're doing it because they love the project. They love Star Atlas. They are from all over the world, so they have to define and find a day and time where the 5 of them can join and be together and are spending time, like 3 hours on a call every week, and also all the time that it takes to build this stuff and set the different pipelines and stuff that they're working on that they will share today. So just for context, like, that is what is going on behind the scenes. Like, it's not an easy task. It's
Don't
not an easy
forget that
task.
we also would like to meet with Dan and Glenn, so they also should be able to add into the mix of when we can meet. So with the 7 or 6 of us, so yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think so. That is. Do you guys have anything to add, kind of on kind of the overall view before we jump into some of the specific
I think that's pretty
topics?
much
No.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go from Cracker.
No. Yeah, no. I just want to say, right. I mean, it started out with the NDA. We had to give our stuff to Glenn, sign NDAs, of course. But yeah, no, it has been difficult also because I mean, right, everybody is busy. Also, Dan is busy. Yeah, sometimes we have to just wait a little bit for some to get some stuff done. But other than that, yeah, no, perfect summary, Brian.
Perfect. Well, I'm excited for everyone to see this Funcracker. I'm sure you are too. And just to let you guys know, Funcracker took the brunt of this work on setting up the knowledge base. So he needs after it's done, make sure we'll give him a huge W for this.
Definitely.
Let me share my screen. I think it's a good time to jump into the actual Gitbook. I will also share the link, by the way, right away. So as Brian was saying, we felt that with all the information being scattered all over the place, there's a lot of information on DAO stuff in Medium articles, in PDFs, also a good portion in support articles, governance website, of course, itself, and the pips. So taking all the information we could find and then assemble it into a knowledge base and use that as a springboard or jumping spot. I again mess up the word, but nonetheless, to also get into the actual rubric and the pip lifecycle, the legislative process, and then the pip structure itself. So let me briefly just guide you through, and of course, feel free to read through this yourself. By the way, the link is a plain Gitbook link. We're looking into, of course, making this a nicer link at some point, but that's not the most important part at this point. So just read through it, and if you have any questions or comments, of course, you know where to find us. But beyond the welcome, you can see the welcome actually refers to a pip example that's not yet there, but we're working on that. But basically what we did is, and let me actually double check that I am sharing correctly. Yes, I am. Cool. You can see what I'm doing. So first things first, we basically collected all the PDFs and Medium articles and made a nice list with dates of all the major announcements that are relevant to the DAO. In that sense, it's a little bit of an historical overview as well. And yes, the white paper and economic paper are in here. The official term is also governance paper for the economic one. So important information. What we also did, and I just got jumping through this in a strange way. This is the appendix actually. We have a bit of information on what the DAO itself is, the structure and the mandate. This will probably be expanded. I mean, basically everything you're looking at will probably be expanded and fine-tuned further. But what's important is that we didn't only just link the information, we also actually compiled the information into various topics. So we have a bit on the foundation and the council, but I'll jump first into these reference sections where we are basically linking information and also actually listing the information and their sources of everything that was so far published on, in this case, the foundation, and we have a similar set for, and it includes the pip, of course, because that's most important for the council. And then we actually fine-tuned the information with some help of AI. Eli 5'd it as aka made it simpler to understand, and basically just made an actual article for you to read, which is based on all the information that was still relevant from the reference pages you just saw. We have here the same for the council. So that is one thing that we did. We also, and I'll jump down again to our archive, we also have a
real quick, Ronald.
Yeah,
so
go in.
There's the source materials, which is all of the documents that have been collected or published by Star Atlas. Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty huge, because I know that people are always wondering where things are, but one place, so I love it. And then you've also added another secondary reference page between the other pages, right? Which has a set, like, more links.
Yeah, so every page that we made, like Foundation Council, and I think there's one more, perhaps that's not visible yet, I think, actually. It has a reference page, so you can see where we got the information from. So we have the source material, which is the page that contains all the links. In that sense, so we're structuring this a little bit as a wiki in that sense. Like here you can find all the links, and all these links, plus the pips, I mean, they're not linked here, but they are actually here because we have also actually moved the foundational pips directly into the Gitbook, so you can read them in a nicely format without having to go to the governance page. So all 4 pips are here. And I say all 4 as in the 4, or actually the 3 foundational, and then the ecosystem funds, and is of course particularly of interest to us. But what we also have is actually a timeline, all the big events. There is the papers, the TGE, the treasury that's being seeded with the link to the treasury. I'll show it in a bit. Polish Locker went live, and then some documentation that was published. It's all in here with relevant and interesting bits for you to read. We have also archive. Yeah, go ahead.
And I want to add on here to this DAO history. It's been quite difficult to like dig all these dates up. So if there's any Polis buffs out there that sees like a date is missing or maybe an event is missing, because sometimes it's not super clear on when it was published. If you see anything that's missing, let us know. And if there's any dates that aren't right, then also let us know.
Yeah, I think I've had most dates, but there are a few dates that I'm still lacking, and that has to do with the treasury. I'll visit that in a bit. But so we also started an archive of council terms. Of course, there is just one, but this should hopefully grow big and rich and show lots of names and councils coming up. So this is just a quick start. But yeah, the treasury is an interesting one. We have here reference from the econ paper for starters, and of course a link to the actual treasury page. Some of the core accounts that are useful to know. But then income streams. This I think is quite interesting. And this was difficult to find, and especially find actual dates. So definitely open for more information here. So we have an old stream for the Team R4 sales. There's no longer an income stream. And then we have 3 current streams that are, even though they're current, not all equally relevant. For example, the royalty fees are not yet actually relevant, but the marketplace fees are. So it also says active period. Sometimes if we have reference, we have references. In case of the old stream, we have like the starting date and the end date. But it's all in here. It's also something that, given the fact that we had to look so hard to find all this stuff, it's really, I think, very handy to have that all in one place. And then even future streams, because we have seen this mentioned, I think, in this doesn't actually, yeah, where did I see this? I'm pretty sure Jose mentioned it somewhere. It may have been on Discord or even in a DAO article that I didn't link, but it's somewhere out there. So let's see if this becomes reality, but it's interesting. And then the expand stream, currently, of course, Foundation, 100K earmarked as per PIP2. And then a little bit on the ecosystem fund, which is currently, you will see that, I think, here. Yeah, it's in a separate wallet. The team moved it to a separate wallet after PIP 2 was approved. So this is interesting stuff. Yeah, there's more in here. The more important part is, of course, the governance part. So I'll jump into that next. But if there are any questions, I don't think so. You can, of course, read it yourself.
I just wanted to say that this is, to me, this is super valuable, and I'm glad that we have it. Like, from my perspective, being here since the beginning and being in the community also since the beginning, I see a lot of people who join like from maybe the crypto side of things, who maybe buy Polis or just get involved, and then they are like, okay, so what do I do with this? Or do you guys have anything going on for this? And it's so hard to explain the complexity of our ecosystem. I think that's probably like the hardest part, not only on getting in on Sage, but also if you look at this, you can see how well planned the DAO is, and with all the revenue streams, with everything that we have, all the structure, and you can see also like it also paints a picture for you on how it can evolve at the same time. So it not only paints you the picture of this is where we're at now and what we have, but it also helps for someone new to see like, okay, so this is how this can evolve, and I can literally get involved now, and there is a council that I can talk to. So to me, this is insanely valuable, like looking at it from this perspective, and I'm so glad that we have it and that you guys have been putting a lot of work, because you read this, you take a look, and immediately you can tell that these are real hours dedicated to put it together. Like these are real working hours. So
For sure, this was
Great.
quite a chore, but yeah, happy we've got to this point, and I'm very looking forward to getting feedback, or but we, on what other information you can either dig up yourself and you say, hey, this should probably be mentioned somewhere, or if there's anything you're missing, stuff that we can dig deeper into and potentially also publish here. So yeah, let's hopefully together make this an actual decent knowledge base that everybody is happy to use and that's easy to use. So you may at some point have to shift some stuff around to make things, the structure more clear or more easy to navigate through. But I think this is a good start at the very least. So let's jump into the actual governance section. So beyond a small introduction, which is nice and all, we have an actual page on Polish voting power, which of course is important. Like, how do you get it? We've even all the multipliers in here. Yeah.
Can I answer a question real quick?
Yeah,
Before you
by all
jump
means.
into this. So Zana asked, any discussion on PIPs regarding diversification of the treasury outside Atlas? So yeah, we had a conversation with Dan and not Glenn directly, but with the foundation, and basically any diversification of the treasury, let's say buying Bitcoin or buying meme stocks, is probably not going to happen because that falls under, for regulatory reasons, it's going to fall under trading or, financial things. And that's not what the foundation's mandate is. So probably not going to happen. I think that Dan is going to chat with the foundation, but those kinds of things, unlikely. And what we really want to focus on is building the community through the Star Atlas Fund, which is, giving people Atlas, community meetups, building things. Like, we don't need to buy Bitcoin to get growth, right? We can do it from Atlas and the USDC treasury. So that's kind of where we are right now. We need to focus on what the foundation's mandate is, which is building the DAO and the community and away from trading activities.
Yep, cool. So let me jump into the meat of the topic today. So we have at length discussed the legislative process that has been described in various ways in various documents, and we basically took the last information that was in existence and basically went over it, analyzed it, extended it. So we have a new an updated legislative process for you today. I won't go through all the text, you created yourself, but let me just show this image. This is the most important. So we have defined 8 steps, and we've changed a few things. So it starts in this setup. It starts with you creating a pip idea post in the pip idea forum. It doesn't have to have any structure. It can just be an idea. It can just be a few paragraphs of text or líneas. Just give it the shape you want and just describe the idea. Then from that point on, of course, the community will hopefully provide feedback, will provide input, and we are going to score thumbs up. So we have a minor gating mechanism for ideas to move on to become actual drafts. And that is, of course, in place just to make sure that people cannot publish an idea and then the next day make a draft and it has no buy-in whatsoever, and it's just a bad idea for whatever reason. So we have this small thing, like 25 thumbs up, and we will, of course, review that number. If that is too little or too high, we can change that. But for now, we figure let's start with 25. If there are 25 thumbs up, then it will be up to you, again, the proposal creator, to draft the actual pip. And that will need to be structured according to the guidelines that we'll go over in a little bit. If it's not structured to the guidelines, you will get feedback from the council saying, hey, you're missing this bit, or you're missing that bit, or this is not complete, or whatsoever. Like, this is the part where the council really comes into play. Like, we will most likely, if we have the time for sure, jump into the pip ideas and provide feedback there and help people there where we can. But we have to, and we will, focus on pip drafts. So that's the most important. Those are the serious ones. They have enough thumbs up, enough buy-in from the community. They are hopefully well structured, and we'll pick them up, and then we'll head into the council review, and we'll request revisions if there's anything that is just lacking. And we'll post the comments in the pip drafts. And we'll also, at some point in this process, in this actually between number 3 and number 6, have a AMA and a public review, AMA with the creator and a public review, or at least some additional feedback or perhaps some clarification of the feedback we have already given in public for you all to join and listen to. Community feedback will hopefully also still be forthcoming from all you guys, and the pip draft will basically be refined into a state where the creator is happy with it, we are happy with it, and then we're going to move it on to the foundation for final evaluation. And the foundation, in this case Glenn, can basically do the same. He can also request additional revisions if something is, for example, legally not possible, or legally it requires just more information or whatsoever. It can be rejected by the foundation if this just collides with the mandate that they have received. But if not, then we'll just move on, and the pip will be created by Automata. That is because the team has access to the governance platform and we do not. If ever that changes, then of course perhaps the council will do this in the future. But for now, Automata will actually create a pip on the governance platform. You will all be able to start voting, and discussions will take place in the pip discussion forum, and we'll change the name because this is a little bit of a confusing name since we have now 3 different actually pip ideas, pip drafts, and pip discussion, which could be used for everything. So this will probably be something like with voting or approval, but it doesn't matter. There will be a channel where you will now be able to discuss pips that are actually open for voting. And then, of course, it can pass or it cannot pass. And then the final step, it will go to implementation. And it can, at that point, still be returned for adjustments by the foundation, which still have a final say and final call here to make if this should proceed, yes or no. But if it proceeds, then it can go to implementation phase. So that's in a nutshell. And this is all these steps are explained. I'll zoom out again in this document with also links to whatever you may need. And if anything is unclear, we again would love to hear it, because then we'll just expand this knowledge base with additional information. But yeah, that's the PIP lifecycle or the legislative process. I'm not sure if there are any questions.
There is
this.
one question from Kelly in the chat. She's asking if the AMA will happen in video or in the chat.
Yeah, good question. So the current thinking is an actual like we're doing right now. So a video meeting session where people can jump in and ask questions. They can, of course, ask questions in the PIP drafts directly. So we're probably not going to have like a separate AMA topic or anything where people can post questions beforehand. But if stuff is just not clear enough, then people can jump into this meeting and ask questions there. So this may not be. We'll see how this will pan out. Actually, this was something that is, I think, in the something the Dan or the community team, not entirely sure, or together, you guys came up with. It's in the latest DAO article from early July that this is how it should be. So we just basically, right, we didn't throw everything out. We figured, okay, let's just take it, and let's see how it works, and let's see if we can use it, and if that works for people. So at the very least, I think it's good that there is a so people can also hear somebody's voice, or perhaps just get a bit more of the details of somebody's intention or what they mean, which isn't always super clear in text. But let's just see how it goes. So, but yeah, the idea is video, and you can jump in if you have questions, and if you really want to ask a question and you cannot attend, you can just post it in the PIP drafts in the post that belongs to the PIP, and then we'll just pick those up as well and ask those as well. So yeah, that's the idea.
And
we'll have to see. So we'll probably try to, like, if we can. I mean, so this is an interesting one because we have to schedule this with at least a few council members, of course, with the PIP author, but we will still try to see if we can do 2 or 3 in one go. To have, like, instead of like having very small events spread out everywhere, try to bundle them. But it will depend on time zones of the creators as well.
But we'll also work with the authors too, because we don't want people who maybe don't feel comfortable getting on video or chatting about their PIP. We don't want that to gate them either. So it's not going to be a hard requirement, but ideally if you want people to vote on your pip, then it's a good way to get support, and
It's
we
also a
can
promotion
adjust.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we
again,
can
it's
adjust.
processes that have been described in the documentation, and the documentation has always envisioned a working DAO that we didn't find. So there's many descriptions of elements that we haven't figured out yet, like an automatic bot will assign a council member to the PIP. Well, we have to figure out now how to do all that. So we're slowly catching up. The most important job right now was to compile all the information together and decide what's going to be our structure, right? Our framework.
Yep. I just briefly scrolling through. This also has a reference, a subpage with all the references to how the team mostly envisioned how this was going to work and the changes in between. So you can jump into the references and jump through all that. Of course, it ends with PIP 1, which was the final last, and also, of course, the only officially by the community ordained way of doing things. So we've taken that, and of course, we're inspired by everything else and created this, I think, pretty clear variant. But again, very much open for any feedback, discussion, and suggestions here. But let's jump into, because we're already approaching the hour.
There's a good question, Funkcracker.
Good question.
Council from IC in
Yeah.
the chat.
I see.
And I think that's something that we covered,
Oh.
but I feel like it's maybe not super clear on the types of pips that can be accepted right now.
Yes. So, can you define trees of category for pips? If you can define a category, then not so much, but we will add a category through the tag system on the forums. If you wonder what the mandate is, then yeah, it's mostly really using use of the ecosystem funds for benefit of the community, the ecosystem, the game. That is primarily what we're looking at. If you're saying change the weapon, damage of a certain ship, that is probably not part of our mandate.
Hard
it is
no.
fortunately
Hard no.
not a, no, exactly. So it's not a, yeah, no, I would, no. So we'll get, so we have no mandate on how the game works whatsoever. We are only able to, at this point in time, really decide on governance processes and use of the treasury. And again, it will be much easier to distribute the ecosystem funds than other treasury funds as well. So it is limited, but we'll get there over time. Yeah. So I will hand the baton, because I'm talking a lot, to Carlos for a bit here while we go over creating a proposal. I'm not sure if you want to share the screen yourself so you can easier, or I'll just scroll
all
through
of that.
Yeah,
I
sure.
have my notes here.
Cool.
So this is the most exciting part for me, because this is what we really wanted to give you guys, so you have the tools to create a PIP and understand what is needed in a PIP. So we took PIP number 1. We took a couple PIPs that we have already passed as a structure, and then we expanded on things. And just remember, everything in this Gitbook is a living thing that is going to keep growing and expanding and changing and adjusting. We are sure that every other PIP we're gonna we need to include this question. This doesn't apply for that one. So this is a learning process that is going to be easier, when we keep going. But basically, we define what is what is going to be the format of the PIP, and it's going to have some basic requirements, like the title, a self-explanatory title, the author of the PIP. Then that's going to bring a summary section that is just a concise description of in 2 or 3 sentences of what the PIP intends to do. It needs to clearly state the main action or change. It needs to avoid including changeable parameters, that those very specific numbers and parameters you can do later on the specifics. It avoids including it needs to be understandable and not technical, and states the pretended outcome. We have the motivation, which is just another way of explaining why you're doing that PIP, how is it gonna benefit the ecosystem, give a little bit of context to the proposal so people understand why it's being brought up, and if it links to the Star Atlas DAO goals and values, right? Then we go to the specification section, which is the part that we expect is going to be the biggest, because it's gonna detail everything that needs to happen for that PIP to go forward. So all key terms define. If you're introducing or using specific terms, you need to define what they are so anyone can understand it. Clear description of the changes and actions, no ambiguous language. And here is the place to put specific parameters and descriptions of all of numbers and specific things. The implementation approach outlined, and make sure that it's not filled with technical jargon without explanation. Then we're considering the stakeholder impact, because every PIP that moves forward is going to impact some people or may not impact some people, or benefit some and not benefit some others. So it's important that all affected stakeholder groups are identified, that you highlight the positive impacts listed for each group, at the negative impacts as well when it applies, and what mitigation strategies you're putting in place to handle that. And if it's a software-based PIP, you need to also specify, the hosting solutions and many details that are very important. Then you have the timeline of the PIP, where you're gonna state the start date or the trigger event that is gonna start this. Maybe it's just the approval of the PIP or the disbursement of the funds. You have to set up realistic timeframes. If that PIP is depending on anything or anyone, you have to list all that there, any contingency, time included, being very realistic at how it's going to be applied. Then we have a very important part for everyone, which is the cost and resource allocation. And we divided this into sections. The first section is the one-time costs, which is, all the monetary costs listed, but not only monetary, also the non-monetary resources identified. If you need to create material, if you need to spend time doing training, if you need to, do specific actions in order for this PIP to be successful, you need to do that. There's going to be completion criteria defined and contingency times as well. Oh, no, sorry, I will jump back. The cost justification, you need to justify why this costs, and you need alternative funding options considered. You cannot, you have to show that you have considered other places, or maybe you just need to be funded for a section of it. And then the second part of this cost and resource allocation is the ongoing costs, which is maintenance cost estimated, ongoing resource requirement listed, long-term funding plan. If this is a long-term project, who's going to manage, who has that responsibility assigned, who's going to fund the subscriptions or ongoing costs, and basically considering the sustainability of the project. And then there's also additional details that are important that might not be of a specific area, but that if it's technology related, it's compatible with existing systems, security implications, scalability, testing if it's needed, rollback plan if it's included. And I am developing some tools to do a self-check, and I'm also trying to develop a form where you can just be spoon down the information in the way of questions, and after you fill everything, you kind of put the PIP together. And I'm going to give some questions that you need to ask to yourself that are important, like, could someone implement this without asking me questions? Have I considered all potential stakeholders? Are the cuts, of benefits clearly justified? Stuff like this. Questions that will make sure that you're not missing anything. And also some red flags that we're going to consider when things are vague or is missing responsibilities. These are the triggers that are going to make us give the PIP back to get improved and then come back. And another important point that we discussed is that once a PIP is rejected, you can do it again as long as you fix the parameters that made it fail, that should be stated when it's rejected. You can resubmit a PIP as many times as you need to. And Phonecracker is adding another section there. I'm seeing that has the additional notes and tips. One of the biggest tips that we can give is keep things simple, and that's he put it there in that paragraph. And it's very important. The more complex a PIP is, the harder it's going to be to pass, and the more feedback you're going to get from the community. If it's too complex, try to divide it in 1-2 pips or more if needed, if it's something really complex. But we don't recommend to do a very complex pip but that has too many steps, because it's going to be hard to pass that. I don't know if anyone has any question regarding all this, because that was a lot of information.
I see thumbs up. So
I think it was pretty clear.
Yeah, people will need some time to sit down and go through all this, because it's a lot of material. But we are super happy to meet with you guys, to answer questions, and to give out these tools that we are developing to try to make life easier for people when they need some help, because it can be really intimidating having an idea and having to create a PIP for the first time. But it's not rocket science. But it's also not just a matter of filling up blanks and having things approved. You need to justify how this is going to improve, the environment and the ecosystem. And as Brian said, we're limited right now. We're trying to limit ourselves because it's the very beginning of the DAO. And this is a very complex thing that is with time, is going to grow into a giant monster that's going to take care of the whole environment of the game. But right now, we're going to focus on the PIP number 4, which is the Star Atlas ecosystem, and giving the support to the community that they need.
yeah, I'll add, I'm not sure. I got the impression you perhaps skipped over the implementation details, or
did
made
I?
them like part of the stakeholder impact. But just for people listening back later, if that is the case, then that is indeed also how I picked it up. So, but yeah, everything is in this list. I would recommend take this list, give the shortest possible answers first, just fill out everything, and then go back and expand on the things that need expansion, and you will see it's not so bad. And if anything is not applicable, just reply with N/A or anything like that, because there will probably be a lot of stuff that's not applicable. Like you may not have any ongoing costs, for example, there may be no conflicts of interest and all that sort of stuff. So just, keep it simple. Try not to mash several proposals into one, or that is at least a recommendation. And we have, beyond this list, there's a bunch of different clarifications beneath that just take some of the blocks, and probably over time it will contain all of them, and provide some additional thinking here. But this is just a list of stuff that you should include, and just again use NA or not applicable if it doesn't make sense. And lastly, I guess this is good. It's a subcategory here. Perhaps we should move it, but we actually do have beyond formatting. So when the council is going to do a review, there are some actual rules that we take into account, and these are what we call PIP requirements. So the first one is it should actually contain all the sections outlined in the previous section that Carlos went through. But there are two more, or at least these two categories more. So the first is that a PIP cannot rely on another PIP that has not yet been approved through the legislative process. That's just to make things easier. Like if you have two PIPs at the same time and they somehow rely on each other, that's going to be complicated. So at least one of them should have moved through the process. You can start both, though. There's a note here in the PIP ideation process, because that's fine, but they cannot both move to the next phase. And then the last bit, and that's an important one, I think, for everybody, is referencing parties. So we've seen so far ideas where people say, somebody's going to make this, or the team will do this, or the council will do this, but you have to be specific and you have to have consent. So you have to mention all the parties that are involved in your proposal. You have to have contacted them, not in the ideation section, but at least when you go to the draft section. And I think a good approach would be to make a topic for your idea, and then link the people you need, if they are at least on Discord, in the next post, and get their feedback, and at some point their consent, if they are indeed a party still for that PIP. You cannot wing it and say, well, this is a proposal, somebody will have to do it. That's not how it works. You will have to find the party that's going to do it. You have to be specific. You have to be able to mention names, and they have to have consented to their part of what they need to do when the proposal is approved. So this is a very important bit. And this list, again, it says at the top, it's a living document. as we go over additional proposals, we'll add to this. And again, the same to the previous, the creating the proposal, the structure. So yeah, keep your eyes or just check this before you make an actual draft. I think that's it. Again, by all means, very much hope people are going to just thumb through the Git book or just jump to the sections they care about and give us your feedback and suggestions. But if you're contemplating creating a pip, then first thing to say is please do. Very much encourage everybody to just start making a pip idea. It can be pretty short. Just share with the community. Get those thumbs up. You can ask for it if it's not clear for people just yet. We may add some post at the top of their various channels to also link to this document and also explain a little bit what the purpose of that specific forum is. But that is how things are going to roll from now on. We'll have to decide, and we'll probably talk about that right after the brew, how we're going to deal with the current ideas and the current drafts. Like we probably will post something in the drafts at the very least, because not all of them are, of course, up to snuff if you look at the new requirements. We don't hold against anybody, but we'll probably direct them to go back to ideation and make a topic, a new post there. But yeah, we're already past the hour, so I'll probably just shut up. Perhaps there are some more questions for us. Then, of course, we'll be happy to answer.
And we should tell them you're concerned, Von Cracker. Do you remember what was your concern regarding pips once we start in the voting process?
I have well, I'm not. You tell people. I'm not sure if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but
yeah, no, we have a concern that the community might be reluctant at the beginning to approve pips, so we don't spend the money from the treasury. And this is where reminding you that we're gonna focus on the ecosystem fund is key, because that means that 80% of our assets are safe, are gonna be there. All the USDC, up to $500,000 is gonna be there. It's gonna save. Nobody's gonna touch that. And then with this budget that we have, that is the 20% of the Atlas in the vault. And spending on pips maximum to a 5% of that at a time, we have enough resources to support the community and decide together what's important and how we can expand our reach and how we can benefit the environment. And please make use of this tool, because this is a wonderful gift that we were given, and we cannot waste this opportunity, because there's a lot of people in the community that really need a little bit of help to help us even more.
And I see some chatter about templates. Yeah, we'll work on templates, of course, as well. We're just beginning, folks, so give us some time to provide more tools and more examples to you guys.
So something else that you can do, which I was actually writing a pip today, is using ChatGPT. I give it my idea, I give it the background, and I say, hey, write a pip for me. Well, I just did write a pip, and I wrote a pip. Now what you can do is you can literally just copy that entire page from that knowledge base, put it in there, and then put in your idea right below it, and it will create a pip with all of those things. Now it's going to be, ChatGPT can be a bit generalized, so you'll have to go through and review it, but don't let that stop you. If you have a good idea and you can, really outline it in text, then it's going to fill that pip out for you and get you 99% of the way. So definitely take advantage of that. And Kelly mentioned, English, second and third language, also amazing at that. You can throw that pip in English, probably put your idea in your language, and then it will spit out a pip either in your language or in English. So there's a lot of ways we can go about it. I don't know if we're going to be able to put out templates for other languages right now. We need a bit more people for that, but definitely take advantage of the AIs to do this.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually were talking about that today, right, Von Cracker? I was checking the Git book with the Chrome translation tool, and most of the bulk of the text is perfect. It's just some titles, sometimes some words that are ambiguous translate weird. For example, in Spanish, the foundation part, instead of saying the foundation, it was calling it the base, because like a foundation of a building. So there's a couple little things that we are going to research to see how we can optimize the translation of these to the different communities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as to ChatGPT, we'll also look into training an actual bot, so you don't have to feed any Gitbook data anymore. It will just already know that data. You can just ask it stuff. Sorry, Santi, you also wanted to.
I just
to
wanted to
probably wrap
say,
stuff up.
yeah. Not only that, but also I want people to call out people to not be shy. And as you guys were saying, you can start with
Yeah.
just an idea with just a sentence. Like, I would like to do this because of this. And then people will start replying. The council will probably read it and see if there's actual interest and if you can move it forward. So don't be shy. Take that first step. If you're even shyer than that, feel free to DM some of the guys. I'm sure
Yep.
that all of them are open to receiving a DM and helping guide someone through the process. So we want to see pips. We want to see the ecosystem develop. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some good pips and just ideas overall. Let's start brainstorming.
I have two already waiting that I'm going to share tomorrow on the ideas section to see if we get some feedback.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
I know that a lot of people are cooking behind the scenes as well. So some pips will probably come to public very soon.
Yeah.
And
Hope to see them.
if you guys don't realize this, but if you're one of the first person with an idea that goes up for those 25 check marks, and it's the first pip, you're going to get a lot of attention because it's the first pip. So get them rolling in. It's gonna be, I think, pretty advantageous.
When we look back in 20 years, right, there's only a few single digits left for the pips. So just saying.
Ooh, true. Actually, true. True. Should we give an NFT for when you do like a valid pip? Should the
We
DAO
should.
Yeah, I
do
leave
like
that to you, but yes, let's do that.
little
What's in your wallet,
NFT?
Santi?
No, but like an actual NFT,
Oh,
like
custom
you
one.
Create a collection.
you
Yeah.
created pip number something, you know?
I like it. I like it.
That
I
would
like
be
it.
cool
Nice
to
idea.
This is
encourage
super cool,
participation.
actually, Santi.
Yeah, like it.
Sometimes my brain cells connect. Sometimes.
We have to treasure those moments.
Legend.
Yes. That's why I said it here. No, but yeah, I think we are well over the hour, so it's probably a good moment to close. Really appreciate you guys joining, and not only that, but all the hard work you're putting in, leaving differences aside and working for the future of Star Atlas and the community. So really appreciate what you guys are doing as a policy holder myself, and I'm sure that everyone here in the audience also really appreciates it. And just thank you guys, and
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
forward to
thank you
have
for
you on a
your
brew.
work, guys.
And yeah, some dollars in the chat for the council.
Sweet.
And join the DAO chat if you guys have any questions about any of this, comments, corrections, everything. Just hit us up in the DAO chat.
Yep. More stuff
Alright.
coming. Stay tuned.
Awesome. All right,
All
guys,
right,
thank you so much
cool.
again.
Yeah, thanks. We're about to jump into our next meeting, so the work goes on.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Thanks
See
for
you guys.
joining, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
All right.
See you in the next one.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.